This is Namibia in southwest Africa. Part of SAS training is in desert conditions, and the main part of the work they've been doing recently has been in this environment. 24 super fit members of the general public have come to see if they're tough enough for the SAS.
We're in a 30,000 square mile Namib Desert in Namibia on the southwest coast of Africa. Its barren desert allows very little to live. Miles and miles of constantly moving sand dunes means the desert never remains the same. This is one of the planet's last great wilderness. Ex-SAS members are bringing 24 volunteers to the middle of the Namib Desert for SAS training. The volunteers have been selected from hundreds of applicants and are quite simply some of the fittest people in the country. That is a good thing, because what they're about to experience will be tougher than anything they can ever imagine. One day's walk from civilization, 6 tents. This will be home for the volunteers.
Move! Come on!
There are 24 volunteers here, all hoping to make it through the next 16 days. However, some of them won't even make it for the next 48 hours.
Lose it, leave it.
A few hours ago, our volunteers were living relatively normal lives, if you can call fitness fanatics normal. What they're about to go through, however, it's going to turn them upside down. It's going to be physically and mentally very, very difficult. But we have to stress, they're free to leave at any time.
Stand up, mate. Place the front.
Although women are not allowed to join the SAS, 6 of our volunteers are women, but they'll be treated exactly the same as the men. In charge of the training is Staff Sergeant Eddie Stone.
My name is Sergeant Eddie Stone, but you will call me Staff. Welcome to the world's oldest desert. This is one of the hardest environments in which you will ever operate. You are here because you think you're tough enough for the SAS. These men behind me are the directing staff, or DS. You will also call them staff. We have all operated and survived in this environment. Now it's time to find out if you can.
The volunteers have been issued with everything they will need for the next 16 days. But the directing staff still search them and confiscate anything they've tried to smuggle in.
What's this stuff? Flossing ribbon. Are you a poof or what?
No, sir. What's in that?
Solution for the contact lenses.
Anyone foolish enough to be caught smuggling contraband, such as deodorant, is punished.
Are you me about, Barrel?
No, sir.
Go do them properly. Right, squat thrust.
Kit inspection complete, but Eddie's not happy with 2 of the volunteers.
Because we found contraband, items which you weren't told to bring, power drinks, crap like that. These are all going to go for a little beasting session, just to waken us up and put us in the mood. OK, lads. Get him off. Get felling.
Back in line. Come on, you two, double in. Take your positions. Come on, follow me.
Double! And stay in as a group. Get felling in 3 ranks and keep doubling.
Okay, Barry, we're in the desert. Why are we here?
Well, the SES were actually born in the desert. In July of 1941, when in North Africa, when the sort of Rommel was actually pushing the British back, the SES actually came into being. And the regiment, throughout its lifespan, has basically had a lot of military activity in the desert. They had in the 50s, 60s, they had the Jebel Akhdar raid, and then we've had Afghanistan, the Gulf War. So it's very, very much the kind of environment the regiment operates in more or less all the time.
We're only going 3 minutes. TT session, 45 minutes minimum.
The DS seem to be having a little bit of fun with their volunteers. It's the first thing they've got them to do, so why are they doing it?
This is called beasting. Generally, the army does this sort of thing to either take the steam out of soldiers that are a bit cocky, or to use it as some general form of punishment for a squad or something like that.
Down. Up. Down. Up.
If you do something wrong, even just one person does something wrong, it's great to beast the whole group, because then there's a pressure on that person that's made them do that.
But you don't do it in the SAS, don't you?
No, we don't do it in the SES.
So why are we doing it then?
We're doing this because these people are not soldiers, and they need some kind of discipline. And beasting is one of the great things, especially together. They're all suffering now together. It's one of the great sort of methods of melding them actually into some sort of force without massive amount of military training.
Come on, get up here.
This is a group of strangers who've been stripped, shouted at, put into camouflage, and are now being beasted. And they're only 2 hours in. There's no prize for winning here, other than respect.
You're not going to get taken off by your DS. We'll take you over to your tent, your accommodation. DS1. Take them away. 2.
The 24 volunteers are put into patrols of 4, the same as the SAS operate in. They will work together in these patrols for as long as they remain on the course. Their ability to support each other, as well as to work individually, will be crucial in the following days.
Finally.
3 hours of being in the desert, and they're beginning to understand what military life is all about.
No, I mean, I am quite sort of outspoken. I'm sort of a loud person, but but no, in this situation, then no, I'm sort of, do you know what I mean? I know my place, and I know when to speak, and I know when not to speak, and I shall do as I am told.
A bit of a shock to the system, having not done any running for about 3 or 4 days, so yeah, it's hard coming from the UK and just suddenly running in really hot weather. Hard.
Okay, our volunteers have just been issued with their kit neatly encased in this Bergen, which is about 35 pounds. However, if they were in the real SAS, they'd have to carry the equivalent of another one. Oh, hey, how about that? Another one. Right, off we go. Where's the front line?
The SAS take the very best from the forces, but before they even get into the SAS, every soldier has to do an annual CFT, a combat fitness test, something that our superfit volunteers should find easy if they've got any chance of getting through the next 16 days. Our volunteers have to do a speed march along this dirt road until told to stop. They're carrying the equivalent weight of a portable television, video and DVD recorder on their back.
Right, listen in. This combat fitness test will be a team unit job. You stay with the slowest person, right? Keep going till I tell you it's finished.
Okay. Away you go.
Okay, 2.
Get
set.
We're going to do a start. Down 2 feet.
Calm down. Too much energy.
I'm nervous, but I'm very excited. I haven't been this excited about something for a long time, so yeah, very much looking forward to it. Excited, nervous, and curious actually to find out what's going to happen.
This is the first time they will operate in their patrols. They'll have to work as a team and support each other.
Okay then, away you go.
So how are they doing so far?
They're doing not too bad. They're doing all right.
They've only just started, really, haven't they? So, you're expecting everyone, they should pass this with flying colours, really, shouldn't they?
They should pass it quite easily, yeah, they're all athletes. But, you know, a normal infantry soldier has to do this every year, so if normal infantry soldiers can do it, and they think they're tough enough for the SAS, then this should be a piece of cake for them.
Just to get this far, the volunteers have done extremely well. They were picked from hundreds of applicants after attending a weekend in Wales, the home of SAS selection.
Right, I'm Eddie Stone. For those of you who don't know me, I spent about 10 years in the SAS, taking guys through selection, and I know what I'm looking for.
The applicants were given £45 Bergens and sent twice up and down Penny Fan, the highest mountain in South Wales, and the first test of endurance during real SAS selection. They had 4 hours to complete the 8-mile course. 24 were selected and taken to the desert. It's here that they'll find out if they're tough enough for the SAS. Our volunteers are all athletes. They'll take away their shorts and quick-dry shirts, replace their high-tech running shoes with desert boots, and give them a Bergen full of gear, and it's a totally different ball game.
Difficulty of just not knowing when you're going to stop,
That's
right?
the big thing, yeah. It's as I say, we're all used to meeting a goal. We know what to take on, we know what to not have, what to do, and how long we're going for, so where to push it.
Yeah.
You don't know whether to push it, whether to not push it, but as I say, everyone's in the same boat, which makes it.
Yeah, we're just saying that. I mean, we may be suffering, but everyone else back there is as well. So, you know, you've got to use that as a bit of motivation.
And if they're not, don't tell them.
Okay, all right, don't worry.
I'm certainly past my best in terms of physical performance, but by having a strong endurance background, I can keep going. And I think that is something that does improve with age. I hope the skill element and the psychological strength which one develops with maturity will be helpful.
You okay, Michaeli?
Yes, I'm fine.
40 minutes into the combat fitness test, and the volunteers still don't know how long they'll have to continue. Sarah Donoghue is finding the pace hard going.
Walk, Donoghue, come on! Keep going! Open your legs up like this. Walk fast. Come on. Just walk fast.
I don't think you should ever fail at anything. I think failure is a massive weakness. And I haven't been brought up to be weak. And there is nothing weak about me, mentally, physically. You know, I'm not a weak person.
Who's the patrol commander here? Stand still. You never leave anybody behind in your patrol when they're still alive. She drops dead, leave her. She's still alive, you wait for her and you help her. Right, get your asses back there and help her in here. Never do that again.
60 minutes after starting the CFT, the exercise comes to an end.
I'll take your breath back. Put your baggins down, have some water, sit in your baggins and keep your mouth shut. Chrysanthou!
That'll do.
Here. I'm the only person around here that says well done. How do you know what's well done and what's not well done?
I thought they did well stuff.
You thought they did well?
I was talking to my team, nobody else stuff.
So you thought your team did well, did you? What gives you that impression? What gives you that impression?
Nothing stuff.
Nothing stuff. Exactly, you don't know nothing. Right, get over there, get some water, and sit in your bag and shut your mouth. If you want to get through this course, you've got to work together as a team. The regiment is about teamwork as much as it is about individual spirit. You must have a combination of both to succeed. If you don't, off now. So you don't leave people behind if they're still alive. If they drop dead, then that's your choice. But while they're still alive and still with you, they're part of your patrol. No matter how weak or ill they may be, they're still your responsibility. And if you leave them behind, then what does that make you? Did you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning?
Okay, physically, it's the end of day one for our guys. They've had a very difficult opening day, and they've got 15 of these beauties ahead of them. Lovely.
How was last night? All nice and warm? Who left this behind in their tent?
I did stuff.
Any time you do anything wrong, whether it be one individual or half a dozen of these, everybody's going to get punished.
One person's mistake, and yet again Eddie beasts the whole group.
In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Press up position, down, up, down, up. Staff, get her ass down, man. Think she's posing for a porn movie. Down, up. Right, stand on your feet, get fell back out your three ranks. Move. We're going to issue you weapons today. One of these. It's a Colt Commander. This weapon never goes outside an arm's distance of your body at any time. It will always be within reach. Your weapon's over there, somebody starts shooting at you. By the time you get over there, unless you can run faster than 2,000 feet per second, you're dead.
Okay, Eddie and the boys have decided they need to see a bit of controlled aggression. This is called milling.
When in the SAS, you must be able to turn aggression on and off, like the flick of a switch. So you're going to fight each other. And at the end of it, there should be no lasting memories, no matter who wins or who loses. First two fighters, can you get his kitted up now?
Milling is a basic form of boxing, and for some of the volunteers, it's the first time they've ever had to fight.
Take your head off. That's one of...
Okay, 1 minute, controlled aggression. Go!
Go on, that's good, girl. Straight punch, that's it. Keep going. Keep going.
Stop! And hold on. Stand by. Go!
Go on, straight punch, that's it. Good straight punch.
Okay, stop, 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 stop. Well done.
Now, if I was in the service, milling would be the sort of thing I'd dread. I mean, did you tend to dread it when you were there?
Well, it's like everything that's going to hurt you. You obviously dread it. You know, you've got to do it. You know you've got to do it. So when your time comes, you step up in the ring, you put your gloves on, you put your head shield on, and you go for it. A lot of friends are fighting each other, but they remain friends afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Go! Stop! Stop! Stop!
Well done.
Okay. Okay, go!
Go on, last 10, go on! Go on! Go on!
Stop, 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 stop!
You've got to focus on the person and not let go. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for that sort of kind of aggression where you can focus. If you get knocked down, you come back again.
Ding, ding. Stop! Right, back into the centre. Get in here. Right, face. Keep your eyes on him. Go! Stop!
Oh. Okay.
End of contestant. Okay, medic!
Shut your mouth, shut your eyes.
There you go. Okay, on your feet. Don't forget your gum shield.
It's not like the boxer, so if it hits back.
I'll get that.
Up.
Okay, in my opinion, I think the guys have just finished their first proper physical test, which has been the milling, and I think it says a lot for them, especially in this dust bowl right here. Boxing people they don't even know. There's been nosebleeds, vomiting, and yet no one has quit yet.
Do you want to give up?
No stuff.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Have a mouthful of water. Wash your sick.
36 hours in, and the volunteers are now learning to become soldiers. The DS are demonstrating contact drills. For the SAS, perfecting these manoeuvres is essential. In an encounter with the enemy, it can mean the difference between life and death.
Look, straight away, there's 4 weapons shooting at me.
Okay, it's the afternoon of day 2, and already the guys are being bombarded with information that's going to be useful to them in a couple of days ahead. Now, if you can imagine, this is difficult enough with all the information they've got to assimilate without 35-degree heat getting in the way.
Right, keep going until I tell you to stop.
Contact drills are a safety procedure because if they do it something, they can make an instant decision. Shall I actually stay and fight? Can I win this fight? Or shall I withdraw in good order?
Is it a bit unfair that we're making our volunteers do that on the, sort of the second day?
No, I don't think you can learn contact drills soon enough. At least they've got some basic military attribute under their belt. Contact drills don't always save your life. Usually the lead scout gets hit, especially if it's an ambush by the enemy.
How do you decide who the lead scout is? Because that sounds like the most rubbish job in the world.
The lead scout is normally the best soldier you've got in the patrol, other than the patrol commander, of course. And the patrol commander will pick his lead scout for the guy's skills and also for the guy's sort of awareness.
Under attack, the volunteers must also learn how to evacuate a wounded patrol member.
Man down!
Stop. Get your arms under his armpits like that.
While half the volunteers learn how to deal with enemy contact, the others learn how to survive in the desert.
Throughout the SAS history, SAS soldiers have found themselves in situations where they've had to run, evade the enemy, live off the land, and survive to get back to base and fight again. This afternoon, what I'm going to do is show you survival aids that will help you. Water is the most crucial element in any desert survival. Without it, you will die within a few days. What you need to do is conserve the water on your body. And there are simple ways to do that. Stay out of the sun. Stay covered up. If you have to move and travel only at night. If you urinate, save it if you have a container. There are several options into making water from your urine. Okay? A method is to actually use 2 containers. Urinate into one, tape them together in the middle so they're airtight. You leave the one with the urine in it exposed to the sun. So have it facing south. The one without the urine in, which you collect your water in or your moisture in, cover it with sand. That keeps it slightly cooler. And as you can see, we've got condensation. Okay, so we're just going to separate the tape like that. And that's what we've got. That is good, drinkable water. Okay? Pass it around, I'll have a swig.
1 hour into contact drills, and the past 24 hours of illness is taking its toll on Steve Birkinshaw.
Well, that's it, we're in the middle of battle zone, we're tired, so we'll just give up.
No, Staff, I'll carry on, Staff.
But why are you tired? Are you mentally weak?
No, Staff.
What's wrong with you? You're not tired at all. You think you're tired. I'm going to show you right now how you're not tired. Pick up Lena Farmer's carry. Hold both weapons in your left hand. Like so. 1, 2. Over my shoulders, Lee. And you're going to do that and you're going to take him away. Do you understand me? He's a wounded man, you just carry him away. Like that. Any problems with that? Pick him up. Advance. Birkinshaw, keep walking. Are you still tired, Birkinshaw?
No, Staff.
You're feeling fine now, aren't you?
Yes, Staff.
So really, you were just weak, weren't you?
I was, Staff.
You thought you were tired?
Yes, Staff.
Keep going then. There's nothing wrong with you at all, is there?
No, Staff.
So why did you tell me you were tired?
Don't know, Staff.
You tried to jack on me?
No, Staff.
Do you want to jack?
No, Staff.
Keep going then. Get out of the way.
It's 37 degrees Celsius, and carrying a 156-pound man in sand is pushing Steve Birkinshaw to his limits.
Towards me. Come on, Birkinshaw. Come on, Birkinshaw. You're supposed to be a marathon runner. You only came 100 metres. Towards me. Come on, Birkinshaw.
After a second extremely tough day in the desert, the volunteers are returning to camp. Steve Birkinshaw is last in and is shattered.
That was a nightmare. The way he just laid into me. But they have to try and push you to that limit to see if you will quit. But I'm knackered anyway because I was throwing up all last night, didn't get any sleep. I had diarrhea as well, so I'm just really tired now.
Night 2 in the volunteer camp, and Steve Birkinshaw's not the only one to have found things tough going.
They do push you and push you because they want to see you excel, they want to push you. Or do they want to break you? Do they want to push you or do they want to break you? Who knows?
I was very, very close to packing it all in this afternoon when I was just feeling so rough because I kept working and running around and basically on no food at all. I was just absolutely drained and really quite dehydrated, and I just really wanted to give it all up and go home, but managed to pull through.
The volunteers have been in bed for a couple of hours now after a very difficult day of milling and tuition. Now, as part of that tuition, Eddie's told them that if anything kicks off tonight or any other night, then to get their Bergens, get fully kitted up and their guns, and make for an ERV or emergency rendezvous point. Let's see how much of that information they've kept up here.
The directing staff are launching a surprise attack on the volunteers. Standard SAS procedure in the event of an attack is to escape to the ERV, regroup and assess their situation. The ERV is generally in close proximity to the camp. If the patrol can win the fight, then they'll counterattack. If not, then they'll retreat with all their kit. The volunteers in their rush to get to the ERV have already made some mistakes. Someone has left their Bergen behind.
What are you doing lying down there? Move!
Left! Yep. Defensive position! Unidentified targets ahead! You're right, Wendy.
Yes. Where's your Bergen?
I didn't take it, Staff.
You didn't take it? Where's your sleeping bag? Your food? Your water?
I thought it was more important to get out, Staff.
More important to get out?
I'm not. I don't actually want to necessarily stand out because I think they'll pick on you if you do.
What's going to happen to you?
It's going to be difficult stuff.
You're going to die. That's what's going to happen to you.
Under normal circumstances, I probably laugh a lot, but I don't know whether I'll be laughing.
It amazes me that you're still such a shambles. Because you're so good at it, what you're going to do for the remainder of the night is lie in an all-round defence position around here and maintain a watch throughout the night. Everybody about turn.
Eddie, the explosions went up. They found that ERV, so are you happy or not?
I'm very unhappy at the present time.
Why?
Some of them have forgotten their Bergens, never bothered to take them, and made a decision to leave them behind. In that Bergen is their food, water, radio equipment, spare ammunition.
So they can't go back and get that?
They can't go back and get it. And if that was a real situation, they're going to die.
So, only 48 hours in and the volunteers have to spend a sleepless night in the dunes because one person forgot their Bergen. Not good news, as come daybreak, they'll need all their strength. It's 8 a.m, and after a sleepless night, Eddie has given the volunteers 15 minutes to get themselves ready for what will be their toughest day yet.
Been given 4 ration packs, or two more ration packs, and we've got 2 already, so we don't know what we're doing, but potentially we could be on the move, and it's much easier to organise here than it would be out wherever we might be going.
Sick yesterday, a night in the desert wasn't what Rhys Williams needed.
I managed to stay awake. So at the moment I'm just having a 10-minute lie down just to recover a little bit.
Like outside, fell out behind your Bergens. Move! Come on!
The volunteers have had a pretty sleepless night after a good rollicking by Eddie, so now the last thing they need is their navigational exercise, which is going to be brutal, especially in this heat. Give an example, the first RV is up this hill.
By close of play today, there'll be some people who are here who are not going to be here any longer. Patrol 1, on your way.
The volunteers have been given a GPS with the coordinates to the first rendezvous or RV point. They're carrying their Bergens, weighing 35 pounds, their weapon and an additional 10 litres of water, a total weight of over 65 pounds. They've no idea how many RV points there are, and on top of that, Eddie's told them anyone not quick enough will be binned. Each member of the patrol will take turns leading. In Patrol 3, Wendy Dodds is up first.
The maps are not very helpful, so we will have to rely on the GPS. Although it's a 1 to 50,000 map with 20-metre contour intervals, the actual features on the map are not very good.
Wendy, you're already talking like you're in the SAS. That's very impressive.
Well, I don't think my age will affect how other competitors view me in a big way. It may lull them into a false sense of security, thinking that an old woman can't possibly compete at a similar level. We're aiming to go to where that group is, but then we're going to bear right, okay, and go a more gentle route up there, because our days in the desert, although few so far, have shown us that it's quite hard to go up these steep slopes.
Sure. Eddie, day 3, just started the navigational exercise. How are they shaping up then?
Well, we've given them a couple of easy days to get acclimatised, breaking into it quite gently. They've done nothing really too strenuous. Today is going to be a good test for them. We'll see who's strong at the end, and we'll see who's weak.
45 minutes after leaving base camp, and Emmy Gribble has led her patrol to the first RV.
OK, they're very tired, they've had a tough night, so how's that going to affect them today?
Well, navigation requires concentration, and they'll find that difficult because actually walking in these kind of conditions, in the sand, it drags on your feet like snow does. Exactly the same kind of thing, and it sort of takes a lot of energy out of you. And the sun beating down on you, it's going to sort of play on the concentration to a point where they're sort of not thinking properly.
RV2 0466153.
And you have to think with a GPS system, because you have to punch in the right numbers to make sure you're going to the right place.
Sure, and I guess that the more tired they get, the more prone they are to making mistakes, and they could just go
one digit out, and you can be walking totally the wrong way.
The temperatures reached 38 degrees Celsius, and the volunteers have been walking for just over an hour. The conditions and heat are getting to Johnny Roy.
Out.
Sounds strange coming from a black person, but I don't particularly like the sun. I don't like extreme heat.
Each step forward is so much harder than normal, so it's just going to wear us down. And now it's really hot. The last 2 days weren't too hot, but today is really hot, so it's going to be hard work.
Johnny Roy's patrol have arrived at RV2. From this point onwards, all the patrols will be accompanied by a DS for safety reasons. Getting lost could be fatal.
Yep. 7, 4, 3.
Well, navigation in the desert is a primary need. If you can't navigate amongst this sort of in this terrain, then you're going to get lost and you're going to die. It's an SES skill that's required. Navex has been used right from the very start of the SES days in 1941.
This desert is nearly twice the size of England. The volunteers have now been walking for 2.5 hours and only covered 3 miles. Walking on soft sand is extremely demanding, and the environment is now beginning to take its toll.
It's not that way they're going.
Staff, patrol commander's feeling sick.
Okay.
I'm used to dealing with elite sports people, and that will be useful. It's been useful for me in my own physical activities.
Dodge, put the bag down. You don't need it. Come here and stand here. That's it. Not in front because there's a wind, there's a draft. Over his head. Keep him cool.
So I think that will be useful in dealing with some of the team aspects of the challenge.
Wendy Dodds has alerted their DS that patrol leader 24-year-old Michaeli Del Ciro is not well. Medic Jed Healy is immediately called in. He checks him over and quickly makes a decision.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you off. Okay, I'm going to pull you back off the patrol because we need to look after you for the next 24 hours. Okay.
Wendy, you essentially pulled him off when you were a doctor yourself. What sort of symptoms did you see from him? Was he just?
Well, the inability to really to keep going, and certainly the inability to speed up on the descents, which we'd been asked to do, and he wasn't 100% alert. You know, he wasn't non-alert, but he just wasn't quite picking up things.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
There you go, guys.
Go down anyway, guys. Heads up.
One man down, and Patrol 3 have lost time and are under real pressure to catch up. On top of that, they have to carry the contents from Del Ciro's Bergen.
Not bothered about the terrain, not bothered about the temperature, not bothered about the bugs, bothered about nothing. If I could do things at my pace, then I can get there in a fit state to do something. Look at that. Where the bugs?
I can't rely on other people's knowledge or other people's bravery. If I was going to achieve anything in life, I wanted it to be because of my own efforts. That I do believe that will help me when I'm in a pretty serious situation in the desert.
It's 1 o'clock and the hottest part of the day. Johnny Roy is finding it hard to keep up with his patrol. Yesterday, Rhys Williams was throwing up and nearly quit. His patrol has reached the 3rd RV point. They've been walking 5 hours and covered just 8 miles. Physically, he's exhausted. This is where mental strength counts. Mentally, how difficult is it in your opinion?
Oh, it's very hard, it's very uncomfortable, it's very tiring, and you've got to keep going, and a lot of these people are fit, very fit, equally fit, and it's going to be the ones that have got the mental toughness that carries them on. And they've got this additional factor that they don't have to. It's not like a real survival situation where you'll carry on whatever happens.
Yeah.
Here you can give up, and that makes it harder in many ways, and especially if you see people stopping, you're not the first to go, then it's tougher still.
The volunteers have come out of the dunes and are heading into the scrubland on their way to RV4. The heat is unrelenting, and Mark Silver is finding it hard going.
It's just too hot. Just sweating buckets, absolute buckets. And we just had a break there, so I managed to cool off a bit, but just with the pace and the heat, Jesus. What gives me the edge over others is I suppose I'm taking this fairly seriously. This is a personal thing for me. I want to do well for myself. The end goal for me is not to win this, it's to push myself as far as I possibly can.
Rhys Williams' patrol has been walking for almost 7 hours and covered just 6 miles. They've arrived at RV4, where Eddie is waiting.
Told you to take your Bergen off.
I'm taking my Bergen off south to stretch my back out.
Who told you to take it off?
Would you mind if I take it off to stretch my back out?
Put it back on.
I'm going to find it really hard taking orders because I've always run my own life and I've always done what I want to do.
Okay, get your Bergens off. Get your water bottles filled. And your platypus filled. Is that filled?
It's not filled to the top.
I know that, I can see that.
You want me to carry that filled?
I tell you what, you want to keep your mouth shut and just listen to what you're told.
I love the whole military thing. I really like that. All my friends are military. I enjoy the way the military work. I like the strictness of it. I like the control. I think the whole world should be run like that.
If you're told to fill your water bottles and platypuses, then you fill them.
Yes, Staff.
The distance between RV3 and RV4 is 5 miles. It should be the easiest leg of the route. The volunteers are now on hard ground rather than sand. But Wendy Dodds is finding it tough. She's been pushed by a DS to make up time after one of her patrol, Michele Del Ciro, quit. 6.5 hours after starting their exercise, they reach RV4.
Okay, that'll do.
Just hanging in. It wasn't too bad until we lost Michele, and then the pace upped after that. So that was when I found it tough, as soon as we upped the pace.
This morning, 24 volunteers started this exercise. One has been withdrawn, and now another patrol is coming in, 1 man down.
Do you feel as though you can carry on or not?
I don't want to carry on.
You don't want to, that's you want to come back?
That's what.
Okay, magic. Okay, if you just grab your kit then, jump in the back of the vehicle, I'll take you back in there.
Okay.
Okay, cheers.
I thought I could, push through it and get through it, but this isn't a physical fitness test. I'm not knackered. My muscles aren't sore. It's pure mental. This is what it's all about. And for anyone else who thinks that they want to come along and try something like this, they've really got to be keyed in mentally.
Okay, just going to the 4th RV. I've done one of the checkpoints with this patrol. We've lost one person on the way, Mark Silver, and I've just got this on, which is maybe 1 or 2 litres. These guys have got 35, 40 pounds on now. It's just absolutely brutal for them. And even though a lot of them are fit enough to do it, it's just that it's so emotionally draining that you can see it's just really taking it out of them.
The final patrol leaves the RV point, leaving one of their team behind. It's all become too much for Rhys Williams. Physically and mentally, he's exhausted and decided he can't go on.
How are you feeling in yourself, mentally?
A little bit relieved at the moment, actually. I have to admit, I didn't think I'd be stopping quite so soon, but that's the way it goes.
The volunteers have been sent to the final RV point. They've been on the go for over 8 hours in an average temperature of 34 degrees Celsius. They've covered 13 miles, the equivalent of half a marathon.
Okay, put your hand up if you found that difficult. I've actually cut the route short for you, so we're going to have to start doubling back to camp. So close in, cut to your right.
It's the end of the navigation exercise. 3 out of the 24 volunteers have failed to complete the course.
Okay, dismissals. First person to be dismissed. Disgero. Step forward here. You stand there. Being dismissed because you couldn't complete the course. Second dismissal. Williams. Press forward. Stand there, on the truck. And the next dismissal is Silver, the Scotsman. Okay, on the truck. And the next dismissal is all of you. If you don't get a rocket up your start performing and start taking in the information which you've been given. These are all you better start performing, get yourselves together. Right, get back into your tents.
Pull in. Double into your tents.
Three days, 3 down, and Eddie is not happy bunny. I have a feeling things are only going to get tougher. Next time on SAS Desert, are you tough enough? Training gets more tactical, and the DS turn up the physical pain.
Clark, stand up. Germs, long drag.
He said, oh, she's unaware. I said, she's unaware. I said, that's not good enough.
She screamed at me.
Just wasted, just completely.
You ain't going anywhere. I can assure you this is going to be tough.